favorite players traded.
Oh my gosh, how could you get rid of that guy?
They also get mad when you don't sign a free agent.
How can you just sit there while the other teams pass us by?
They are the worst fans in sports.
That's right. We are the worst fans in sports. We are back and better than Ezra after Chris's 90s warehouse style hip hop dance competition after he was served in the school playground. How'd it go?
Great.
That's not a yes and. You didn't yes and. It's the
Mike,
first rule.
where'd you get that hat? Did you buy that with your own money?
Did I buy that with my own money? I got a gift card for Christmas for my nephew, and I went to Rally House and bought it.
So you overpaid.
Well, it was a gift card, so I didn't pay anything.
Rally House is your city and your house, according to their jingle.
Is that what they say?
Doesn't make any sense. I make fun of it every time. They say
Rally House.
like that. I say it again.
Rally House.
It's your city. It's your house. It's your rally house. Doesn't make any fucking sense.
It's your city.
It's
It's
your house.
It makes sense.
Rally House is my city?
No.
They didn't say Rally
They
House
sell
is your
shit from
city.
your city, like Cardinal stuff, Blue stuff. And Rally House in Minnesota will sell Twin stuff and Minnesota Viking stuff.
Horrible jingle. Horrible jingle. I could write a better
Could you have
jingle
done better
in
Would it have
30
been-
seconds.
Would it have been
for
about
Rally
buckets
House.
over pipes and stuff?
Yeah,
Rally
there you go.
House, we got buckets over our pipes.
Rally House, we got buckets over our pipes. So what does that mean, Aaron?
Well, I was telling the guys before we went live, there's a truck, a big truck that parks at an apartment by my parents' house. It's a dually truck, huge, raised monster truck wheels, and it's got those two big smokestacks in the back in the pickup bed, and I've never seen it move. It just sits there, and there's orange Home Depot buckets on top of his pipes, and it's an enigma. I don't. If anyone knows why you would do that on a truck, please let us know.
But what did you sing?
I make up a song every time I go by, and it's the same song, and I sing it. It goes, I got a truck, it's got pipes, I got buckets on those pipes, something like that. I don't know.
Very good.
Didn't Lil Wayne have a song called Loud Pipes?
Didn't Lil Wayne have a song called Bucket Pipes?
Are we a sports podcast? I say
All right.
just
Well,
looked up
it's been a
the,
wonderful edition of the Worst Fans of Sports podcast. My name is Mike. Yada
I
yada
just looked it
yada.
up. Lil Wayne did have a song called Loud Pipes. One of the lines is I put piss stains on private planes because it's my
Oh.
jet. And
Well, then it's not private. If it's your jet, it's not private. I take issue with that, Mr. Wayne. Is he the guy that sang "Turn Down for What"? Is that Little Wayne?
turned down for what was Lil Jon?
Different Lil.
Turned down for what?
Yeah.
They're all Lil now. Did you know that?
They
Lil,
are now.
Lil
yeah.
Boozy,
Lil Vert,
Lil Vert,
Lil
It's Lil
Lil
Uzi
Dick.
Vert.
Lil
Lil-
Uzi
oh.
Vert.
Lil Dicky.
Mhm.
Lil Dicky's hilarious.
He is one of
there
my
a-
favorites.
Is there a Lil Bill? Because that would be cool.
Wasn't there a Lil Bill?
There's an
What
ill
was,
Bill. There's an ill Bill.
Yeah. was-
ILL. He was in La Coca Nostra.
Wasn't there a it was Bushwick Bill.
Yeah, Bush from Ghetto Boys.
Yes.
There was.
Yeah.
Last year, Halloween, the long weekend. Me and
What's
Ghetto
the,
Boys a trick or treat in.
What's the
Love that
Ghetto
song.
Boys song that we used to listen to all the time?
Shout out Ghetto Boys if you're listening.
Was it Mine's playing tricks on it?
Yeah,
No,
you got that.
I gotta
You
look
got
it up.
Chucky. I Ain't a Gentleman. Those are the best three songs in my opinion.
I gotta find it now.
So how about the Cardinals? Did we win today?
They did, but Cardinals is way down the list.
Oh,
Would you like to run this podcast?
no. I just thought if we have any new listeners listening, we
Oh,
do
it's,
advertise ourselves as a sports podcast. I just thought I'd maybe transition. But what's that song called, Chris?
I think it's there's a couple, but one of them's Let a Hoe Be a Hoe.
Like Willie D said, "Let a hoe be a hoe." That's an Ice Cube. That's an Ice Cube line. So
I can't think of the song. I'll think of it later and tell you.
So the Twin City Connect uniform came out. The guy that's not having any fun sent it to us. I'm sure he's got I turned it off while you turned it on. I'm sure he's got some some comments about it since he is a professional uniform critic.
It's blue. It looks like an IKEA bag.
Mhm.
So I heard IKEA bag, and I also heard Best Buy's corporate softball team uniform.
I
Yeah.
also saw,
And to be honest, I can't unsee that.
I also saw a picture of Pablo Lopez, their starting pitcher, wearing it outside of a closed down Blockbuster.
And did he actually go to a closed down?
No, it was a Photoshop.
Photoshop?
It was an edit, but
It's pretty funny.
yeah.
The blue colors and weaving patterns represents the 10,000 lakes, since Minnesota is the land of 10,000 lakes.
Mhm.
The MN together with the North Star represents the Twin Cities, and that is on the uniform.
do you know there was a hockey team once called the Minnesota North Stars?
I did.
Weird.
The piping and sleeve patch have yellow. I have a light yellow for the sunset.
Oh,
Hard to see on here. You can
cute.
kind of
Which-
see the patch on this
but-
picture.
But it does. But okay. But let me rephrase. All that light yellow that's in there on the patch, on the sleeve piping, the hat, the Nike, the star, represents the sunset.
Oh, is this where you're going to talk
What
about how it
col-
could be a
what
different
color-
color? Yeah.
What color is a sunset, Aaron?
not yellow.
Not bright yellow.
No. Mm-mm.
No.
Pretty much any other. It could be any other color, really.
Like an orangish yellow,
Could be orange. Could be purple. or
orangish
pink,
red,
Salmon.
reddish. Mhm.
Yeah.
Salmon.
Not yellow.
a salmon.
Salmon.
So-
that would be
so-
hideous on that blue.
It would be. So I remember it was a long time ago. I was at Schnucks in Overland, back when I lived here, like the first time, not the second time. And I'm walking down the aisle, like the canned food, right? The canned meats.
Mhm.
A couple was like, about 10 steps behind me. And the guy looks over at the canned meats and he goes, "Hey, look, salmon." Or no, he goes, "Hey,
I
look,
remember this story.
salami." And the girl goes, "No, you idiot. That's salmon."
Mhm.
It went from
No, you
salami to
idiot.
Salmon.
That's salmon.
Did you correct him?
I wanted to so bad. I really did.
What would you now?
Yes. Oh no. Now, yeah, absolutely. I'd be like, "No, you idiot. That's salmon."
Salmon. Like salmon rusty.
She was so confident.
Mhm.
She was gonna burn him. She was gonna get him.
She called him an idiot.
The guy was an idiot because he thought that SALMON spelt the word salami, and let him have it.
Well-
No, you idiot. That's salmon.
I bet those two people post on best fans in baseball message boards.
You think
Oh.
so?
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
You think those two are
I'm
still
having
together?
a row. I'm having a row with them. Let's get back to these uniforms. The patch has the state bird, the loon.
Yeah,
The
you can kind of
eyes-
see that. I didn't know that was a bird.
I
until
didn't
you
either,
said
but
that.
so when you look at that, the eyes of the loon, like if you had a picture of the patch, if you're looking at the patch, or if you want to Google it later, the eyes of the loon are stitches of a baseball, and I thought that was kind of cool. But then that same kind of North Star that's interweaved in the MN and stuff.
Yeah, you can
is the
see it
beak.
on there.
Yeah.
Mm,
The state patch on the hat has the North Star and colorful stitching across the state, representing the Northern Lights. Under the brim of the hat, there is the topography of Lake Minnetonka as an
That's cool.
homage to Prince, since he loved the water and its purifying properties. And Prince is a Minnesotan,
I thought you were gonna say dead.
and he's also dead. Prince is a
Well,
dead Minnesotan.
no longer with us.
Is it Minnesotan?
Minnesotite?
I don't
Min-
know.
San Diegon. San Diegon.
So, Chris, what's the rating? 1 to 10.
Well, I don't know. I think she's talking
Breeze
about
thinks it's,
Salmon.
I think she's talking about Solomon, and I think it's freaking hilarious.
I
I agree.
I don't know. 1 to 10 is
Well, I said we save ratings for when they all
'cause
come out
then I
and
can
we do our
1
bracket.
to 30 or
Fair enough.
whatever.
And we do our. Well, I think we do a bracket. I like the idea of doing a bracket.
The bracket
having
would be
people-
fun.
Having
I will
people
still I will still give my rankings.
right.
They're done. But I don't know. This one seemed. I said the Cardinals seemed lazy. This one seems like they tried way too hard to incorporate certain things. It's too much blue.
Just like a best fan in baseball can never be satisfied.
It's just like it's too much blue. Like so, the Mariners went with all blue, but it wasn't that like bright royal blue. Theirs are more navy. They're very bright, and really, the jerseys
Are the
kind of,
pants blue?
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think the Minnesota pants are also blue. Yeah, they're
that
blue
would
with a
be-
yellow belt. I have a different.
Oh
picture.
yeah, I remember that. I remember. That would be. I think that would be too much. It looked like the NFL color games. Remember the
Yeah.
mustard
Mustard
ketchup
and
games?
ketchup. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it's too much blue, too much royal blue, I guess. The M and the N is boring. They always seem to do really well with the hats. No matter what the uniforms look like, the hats always.
Except you don't like my hat.
I
I
didn't,
thought it was more.
I didn't say that.
You thought it was
Can I-
lazy.
Can I say something about
No,
the
I said the
Minnesota hat?
jerseys were lazy.
lazy?
I want to say something about Minnesota. Now I'm going to put it back up here.
All right.
If you look at that Minnesota hat, I didn't know that was a loon. I haven't seen it up close. To me, it looks like a hat for some sort of
Well-
space program. A space
Well, the
program.
loon's not
thing
on
that-
Well, the loon's not on the hat. The loon's on the
Okay,
patch. on
I
the
can't
shoulder.
tell what. Okay, oh, it's the Northern Lights. Okay, I wouldn't have
It's
guessed
the-
that either.
It's the state.
It's the state with
Right.
the Northern Lights and the North Star.
Yeah.
Right. But what I'm trying to say is, it looks like a space program from Minnesota. That's their hat, like a space camp.
I get that. I get that. I can see.
I can
that.
see that.
That's the first thing I thought. I was like, well, that's a
The
space
lake topography on the underside of the bill. That's kind of a neat touch.
I wish it was purple
You think purple, the whole
It would make
uniform?
more
because Prince was
Prince,
uh,
yeah.
Yeah.
was the purple.
What if it looked
Whatever.
like Aurora Borealis? What if it was just like pinks and greens and
I think that would have been cool. Like I'm gonna put it back up again because I thought they had pinks. So they have the light, like the teal and the different color blues in the
Yeah.
Minnesota hat. I like the hat. I think the hat's pretty cool. But I kind of agree with Aaron about it being a space thing. But then the 10,000 lakes on the side, it's almost like a tourist hat. Like you'd buy it
yeah.
and in a
I was
tourist
thinking
shop.
it looks like a low budget horror film title.
10,000 lakes.
Is that true? Is it really 10,000? Have we checked
Don't-
that?
They're
Don't-
called the land of 10,000 lakes.
I know, but
Don't
has somebody
go-
actually counted? Is it really 10? That's a lot of lakes if it's true.
Don't
All right.
Don't-
I'm going to challenge you to
go.
count the lakes then.
not look it up and see if it's true or not. Just actually count the lake. Aaron, you have to go to Minnesota. We'll see you in 3 weeks. You got to
I'll
count
get a-
every lake.
I'll get a clipboard and I'll just check.
How long do you think it would take,
A 10,000
realistically
to
speaking,
travel in between them. A good 6 months.
on a bicycle?
A good 5 years.
And how do they classify a lake? Is there a
Yeah.
size?
Is it really like 4,000 lakes and 6,000 ponds?
And like I was thinking like 4,000 lakes and like 5,000 ponds and like 1,000 puddles.
Puddles.
some lagoons thrown in here and there.
It rained today. We got a new puddle. It's 10,001 lakes.
Have you guys ever been to Minnesota? I've
Nope.
been. I've
No,
been
you
to
haven't.
the. I've been to the Twin Cities. I went in high school.
Oh, you know
on
who
a
you
high
could
school
ask?
trip.
You could ask Greg O'Rear. He's probably counted all those lakes.
Oh
Yeah.
God, he probably does it for fun.
I played disc golf in Minnesota. It was beautiful. Beautiful
did
course.
not. You did not. Those
I
are
did.
all lies.
I bought a Minnesota Vikings keychain that I still have in my kitchen somewhere over there. Anyway,
Yeah.
those
So
are exciting content today.
So I went to the Cardinals game on Friday.
Yeah.
And I was on the Jumbotron. You see, if you're looking at the picture, there's a kid in a cowboy hat throwing up his arms. I circled it, and there's like a quarter of a beard, a quarter of a mustache, a quarter of a eyeball, and a green and gray hat. That's me. Because we were
That's
in Big Mac land. And that's why the people behind us and the people next to us had a Big Mac.
I saw your pregame pictures.
Yeah.
And first thing that came to my mind was like, why does he wear David's baseball uniform everywhere? And then I realized it was Little League night.
I don't
I
wear
did
it ever. I don't
You
wear it everywhere.
Podcast more than once.
Yeah,
My
that was in honor of them not having
Being
a
rained
game
out.
canceled. Yeah, that's
My
like I
first
should have
thought-
been wearing it that night.
Yeah, my first thought was they went straight from practice to the game or something, and then
Yeah.
he just kept it on.
No, it was Little League night, and we got to walk the field.
I did see. No, I don't know if I did see that.
Yeah, we got to walk the field. Anyway, went to the game. They eventually won the game. We left when they were losing. But the Cardinals are still middling, even with the win today. Still middling, just below 500.
Yep. What are they? 32 and 31.
32 and 34.
I'm sorry. Yeah, 32 and 34.
No, sorry, 33 and 34 with the win
Because they
today.
won.
Yeah. And if you give me a second, because my standings here are old because I did this on Tuesday.
I think
when we were-
everybody is 7.5 or 7 games back except the
Pittsburgh is now
Cardinals are
8.
6.5.
Cardinals went to second place. They're 6.5 back. Cubs are 7 back.
the Pirates are
Cincinnati
8
7 back. And Pirates are 8 back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 10 teams in the National League are back under 500. So there's a lot of parity in the league right now. So being mid isn't great, but being mid right now, today, if the season ended, the Cardinals would be a wild card team.
Crazy.
Got a shot.
Crazy.
So we still have a shot. It's not great, but
No,
it's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. I mean, you kind of they don't. I don't know. I was going to say, but what I was going to say was going to piss people off. So
It's a
Well, here's-
long season.
Let me throw this at you. Next 3 games, we go to Chicago and play the Cubbies. How's
Yep.
that series turn out? What? How many wins?
1,
yeah,
One?
1 or 3.
1,
Okay. After that, we go to Miami for 3 games.
3.
Sweep in Miami.
Yeah, they suck.
Okay. After that, we go to Birmingham, Alabama, and play the San Francisco Giants in the Negro Leagues game. Which is
How
gonna be
many?
cool.
Just one game
There's
or
one. This is the weird thing. They play that one game on Thursday in Birmingham. They go to St. Louis and are off on Friday, and then they play the Giants at
So
Saturday.
they finished the series on Saturday, Sunday. They win 1.
So let's
I
see.
think they
that's
win
9
one from the
games.
Giants.
So that's 5 out of 9.
Not bad.
5
I
out
think
of
if you
9.
went
5 out of 9
the
would put
rest
5
of
out
the
of 9
way-
would put them at 500.
Yeah, if you went 5 out of 9 the rest of the way, which you're going to run into teams that are tough, but I mean, I feel like that would put you in position to be in the wild card.
Yeah,
Mhm.
if you did 5 out of 9 in that stretch, they'd be 1 game over 500. Right? Or no, they'd be at 500.
At 500.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean,
Mark it
it is what it is, and I said it, I mentioned it. It's not in my worst fans of sports. I don't think. I don't know. I could have added like 10 more worst fans of sports in the last 2 days. But the just the fucking negativity of the Cardinals fans, man. It's just it's awful. Like they win, they complain. They lose, they complain. They win. Well, it wasn't a good enough team, or well, they only won 2 out of 3, or yeah, but I had someone complained? Actually, I think that might be worse fan sports. Someone complained about Sonny Gray, when giving up a run,
How
Well,
dare
but
he?
he gave up a run.
Yeah. So what?
Are you out? What do you expect? Every pitcher to be perfect?
The best pitcher
Every
in
pitcher for the
baseball
Cardinals.
has given up a run.
Every pitcher for the Cardinals has to pitch a perfect game.
Nolan Ryan occasionally gave up runs.
What's his career ERA?
Bob Gibson, I don't know. I'll tell you.
Gave up probably 3 of every 9.
Nolan
because
Ryan.
That's a good fucking ERA.
Career RA 3.19.
So every 9 innings he played, he pitched, he gave up 3.19 runs.
Yep.
So Sonny Gray's before yesterday, or was it yesterday that he played or today? Before yesterday's game, because Lance Lynn pitched today. Before yesterday's game, he had a 3.09. So technically he had a better ERA than Nolan Ryan's career ERA. Now I'm not saying he's Nolan Ryan. I'm not comparing them.
How dare
just-
you?
Of course. I'm just saying that the absurdity, the level of absurdity that this fan base, this section of this fan base has gotten to. Like
Who's the
there's
greatest
no
pitcher of all time in your mind?
Bob Gibson would be high up there.
Yeah.
Cy Young?
Randy Johnson.
Yeah.
I'm trying. I mean, I know a lot of it's for me is going to be more modern because that's all I can remember.
Well, that's fine. I mean, I would say those 3.
Sandy Koufax?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of Hall of Fame pitchers.
Me personally, I think it is Nolan Ryan, but obviously that's very subjective.
Nolan
Um,
Ryan.
Bob
yeah.
Gibson, 2.91 career ERA.
But did he give up a run? I mean, if he gave up a run, he sucks.
Yeah.
Like Sonny Gray criteria.
Randy Johnson, 3.29,
Ooh,
highest of the
he's-
three.
yeah. What else would
Highest
say?
of the three.
Cy Young and Sandy Koufax.
Cy Young. I think Cy Young pitched so long, he might have an absurdly small ERA. 2.63. So Bob Gibson's the best so far. Sandy Koufax,
And we know that ERA doesn't mean the pitchers that ranks why a pitcher is the best.
2.76.
There's other things.
The
We get
point
it.
is,
We understand, but
best
what we're saying
pitchers
is
in the world, in history of baseball, have given up runs.
It does happen.
I highly doubt there is a pitcher ever in the major leagues that has pitched for more than, let's throw out a reasonable number, 60
100
innings,
100.
100 innings. There's zero. There are zero pitchers who pitched 100 innings in the history of Major League Baseball that have a 0 ERA. I can almost guarantee it.
I'd agree with that. If you guys want to uniform critique the Negro Leagues game, I have an image up, a couple under the fail icon.
Lowest
I see it.
career ERA. You'll never guess.
Babe Ruth.
No,
Nope.
it's gotta be like Frank Hamstein from Colfax, San Diego, California.
Skipper Bailey.
Right.
Ed Walsh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, remember
He
Ed
played
Walsh?
in, I'm trying to figure out when he played. He
17.
played 1904 to 1917.
Okay, so that's a sample size.
His ERA was 1.816.
Wow.
Damn. Get it,
Lowest
Fred.
career. Let's see the first one that Christy Mathewson is on here. You probably know that
I
name.
know that name.
He played for 17 seasons, had a 2.13 career ERA.
It's pretty good.
Smokey Joe Wood
Oh, Smokey Joe.
played 14 seasons.
He opened a great barbecue restaurant after his career.
You know what
Go
they used
down to Smokey Joe's and get some hog feet and some toes.
you know what their slogan was?
What?
Their slogan was most people won't. Smokey Joe would. Get it?
I get it because the last name was Wood. I get it.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, the best pitchers ever occasionally give up runs.
So,
Even Sonny
but-
Gray.
Yeah, so it's anyway, back to my point. It's just absurd. Literally, you can open Bally Sports, St. Louis Cardinals, their actual MLB app or their page or their posts on Facebook or whatever. However you absorb your media nowadays. You can look at any of these, fan-sided sites or this Sportskeeda, all these mess up sites, all these fake sites, these sites from India. All this shit. Anytime anyone posts about a Cardinals, some Cardinals fans is going to say something negative, and mostly it's fire Ollie, fire Marmo, but it's also this team stinks. Blah 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 blah. Actually, I'll read you because this one ended up kind of funny. But you were going to say something, Chris, while I looked this up.
Oh, I said don't read Sportskeeda.
Oh no, it's they're based out of India. Did you know?
Yeah, it's like 90% not true.
Yeah.
Aaron, are you on this? Are you on these like St. Louis City fans groups? Any of them on
Oh God, no. No.
Facebook? They keep posting these rumors from this particular website. It's like called 967 Sports or something like that, and it's so fake.
Oh, like they're selling the team.
Yeah, they want to sell the team, and then there was one that had who was it? They said there was some like big name European player coming to City, and they're just outlandish articles, and they're from this one site. People keep posting them though.
Because
So
I
I'll
want it to be true.
So I'll give you an example. Now this was on 101's 101 ESPN's post. After the Cardinals won today, a guy writes, "This team stinks!" All exclamation points, all caps, 3 exclamation points.
Mhm.
And I wrote, "They won, and yet you still complain." And he said, "It's not about beating the Pirates, a team they should be. It's the overall season. They stink."
Okay.
I was like,
Stop watching.
well, they were 27-41 last year on June 13th. This year they're 33-34, so they stink less.
Yeah,
Yeah. There you
what do
go.
they smell like?
So, and someone did write, if the season ended today, they're in the playoffs, go root for another team if they stink so much.
Exactly.
And
Yeah, like the Reds.
And then he wrote back,
Who are
how
just
about
as
instead of
bad.
rooting for a substandard team, they put a winning team on the field? Other teams do it. And I'm going to be done with it because she's taken over the conversation, and that's fine. But we could always say, well, technically, 10 out of 15 National League teams are under 500. There's not a lot of teams putting
That's
really good product on
Almost
the field.
half.
10
Oh,
of
more than
15
half. 10 of 15.
10 of
I was
15 is
thinking the whole
almost-
league. I was thinking
10
the
of
whole league.
15 is almost half.
Almost half.
That should be the name of this podcast. 10 of 15 is almost half.
That should be the title. Yeah.
So, it's tiring and it makes brain itch. Aaron, you were saying something about uniforms.
Yeah, I made this graphic real quick. I'll put it up here. It's kind of a throwback.
Who's
Jerseys.
on that Briscoe jersey.
It's a bear, I think. I don't know. I really like the St. Louis one. I think it looks awesome.
Are these the
I do.
throwbacks they're going to wear in the Negro League Stadium?
It's the Negro League. It's the Negro League
Uniforms.
jerseys.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
um,
On Thursday of next week from tonight. I like them. I think they're cool.
Yeah, the bear is weird though.
They did it because that's how the jerseys
it's
were.
not a
back
bear.
then.
It's a sea lion because they are
Okay.
the
makes
San
sense.
Francisco Sea Lions.
I didn't do any research. I just saw this graphic and I'm
And
like,
the St. Louis Negro League team was called
Spiders, I think.
the Stars, maybe.
Stars? Something with an S.
If you give me a second, you keep talking.
Was it? I think it was the St. Louis Salmons.
Salamis.
It was the Stars,
Stars. Okay.
and they were originally
I think,
they originally were the St. Louis Giants,
Ooh.
but then they
interesting.
became the Stars. They actually sell that hat, that St. Louis Negro League hat, at
yeah.
Rally House.
I think they should wear the
Rally
hat
House.
that the guy on the bottom right is wearing.
Just like a beat up, dirty painter's cap
with no
Should go
logo
out
on
there
it.
with
and
no
those.
logo on it at all.
Anyway,
You know what's
I thought that was
interesting is the San Francisco Giants now, their mascot is still a sea lion.
Curious.
Really?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
What do you guys feel about the Negro League stats being incorporated into MLB stats, which has changed the best hitter in baseball category?
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I
Don't
don't
have any
care.
Yeah,
problem.
I guess it's a seal. Sorry, it's Lou Seal, but so it's a seal, not a sea lion. Sorry.
So I wonder if people are seeing Aaron. Do you see Chris like jittering like Max Headroom?
Oh, I do see that on mine.
Maybe a little bit.
Weird.
Yeah, he was.
I didn't even
He's not
notice.
doing it. He's not doing the audio, but his face is doing it. It'd be really funny. He was like, "It's a sea lion."
Yeah, I can see it. I don't know what the deal is.
Buy Coke.
Wonder if it's something with my.
Wasn't he?
And,
Or was it Pepsi? Was Max Headroom Coke or Pepsi? I don't remember.
Pepsi. For anyone younger than 30 listening or watching, Max Headroom was a television show. It was a first like AI generated, in quotes. It was, a guy in a suit, but he was supposed to be a computer, and he would sometimes glitch, and he would say stuff.
And he was on Back to the Future, wasn't he?
No, he had a I don't know which came first, the television marketing campaign or the TV show, but one
Which
led to
came
the other.
first, the chicken or the egg?
Mhm.
Which came first, Max Headroom or the show
So,
or the commercial? All right. Speaking of commercials, did you see what Raising Cane's did at Busch Stadium?
Nope.
did they finally come through on our deal?
They did.
Oh,
Raising Cane's
wow.
loves the worst fans in sports.
That's awesome.
They spent a lot of money and put a banner up at Busch Stadium to talk about how much they love our podcast.
That's awesome. Shout
Thing
out
is,
Raising
Nice
Cane's.
of them.
We didn't even have to pay them.
Yeah, they just
They just
reached
did it.
out. They reached out. They're like, we love the show. We love you guys. We think you're all handsome, and we want to give you free food, and we want to put this banner up at the game. We're like, okay, that's cool.
So thank you to our sponsor, Raising Cane's. Speaking of other sponsors, so you might notice that I don't have a poster behind me.
Where'd your poster go?
Every week I've had a different poster up. I don't know if anyone's even caught that yet.
Mhm.
But one, all the posters that Aaron gave me for Christmas, I cycled through all of them. So I can either cycle back into and just do them again, or I have to go buy posters. but I didn't because my buddy Mike, who
But you're Mike.
owns, well, his name's also Mike,
Oh.
who owns Vinyl Mike Studios. He just made a deal with another a popular podcast, and I'm not going to get into the details because I don't know all the details, and I don't know what's public or not. But he just made a deal with a popular podcast, and they're going to wear his product on the podcast. And I thought, we have a huge following and reach. I can do that too. So instead of putting up, and he's also an artist, and he has paintings and stuff. So maybe I got to have him give me some paintings to put up, and do a little cross promo. But this sweatshirt is a gas mask with the St. Louis City skyline reflected in the eyes of the mask. And you can't see it here, but there's a little arch there.
That's deep.
Yeah, it is deep, apocalyptic even. So anyway, Vinyl Mike Studios. He's on Facebook. He's on Insta. He's on TikTok. He's on everywhere. He's on Etsy. You should go and look up his clothes. I'll wear more of his stuff as it goes.
I have a Vinyl Mike shirt.
You do. I gave you one for Christmas. Didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'll wear it. Although you can't really see my shirt that well.
no.
And you
You
gave
hardly
wear
see
it on
mine.
my
That's why I
face.
decided to do this. I'd be
you
like,
gave Breeze a commissioned piece of art from Vinyl
I
Mike.
did an Elvis
Very cool.
Presley.
Very cool
Breeze
stuff.
wear his shirt on my face.
That'll work really well.
We have the best ideas on this show.
So, any other baseball, Chris? Paul Skeens pitched really well
Skeens
against.
pitched really well. The coolest thing
is
about
that really where
Baltimore-
you were on Tuesday? Were you at that game?
I was not.
Oh.
I did have an invite to that game, but I also couldn't make it to that.
Well, I know because you were in your '90s dance
Dance
hip-hop
Right.
battle.
The coolest thing about that start, although he dominated, he was really good. But he gave up some hits, man. Those pitchers, they can't give up
Mhm.
hits.
No, if you give up hits, you're not a good
You
pitcher.
suck. The
You're a-
fans, the
you're a
Cubs
loser.
fans, gave him a standing ovation when he left the field.
You know, there's people that are complaining about that.
That's idiotic. Did you see his response to that?
I did
No.
not.
He said, that's really cool. I didn't even notice because I was so pissed that I gave up a hit when he was walking off the field. But looking back, he's like, I watched it back. He's like, that's really cool. It's a cool group of people there.
Nice.
And then somebody
Nice.
said, Skeens to Cardinals confirmed.
It's a good kid.
Oh man, could you imagine?
He strikes me as someone that is just all business.
Yeah,
Except
Yeah.
the one time when he gave up that bomb to Otani. Did you
Otani,
see that?
and he
When turned
smiled.
around,
He was-
just
he was so
smiled
happy.
from ear to ear. Yeah.
he was so happy. He's like, "Yeah, Otani hit a home run off me."
Well, he was
I
so
made it."
juiced up at the beginning of that game. He struck out Betts and Otani to
Right.
start the game with 103-mile-an-hour fastballs.
Right. Oh.
And then second at bat, Otani took him to straightaway center, and he turned around with a big old smile on his face.
Yard burger, I think they
I
call
would-
those.
Then he gave
I
up
would.
a home run to arguably one of the greatest hitters in the world.
So speaking of not necessarily yard burgers, but hard hit balls, Oliver had a game last night.
Did they
And he did
measure
real-
his exit velocity?
They didn't. You when you go to the Rawlings experience, it does measure your exit velocity.
I believe that.
My highest when I did it was 61.2 miles per hour.
I'd
Pretty
be
good.
interested in doing that, but I
The pitch was, because it's so close, it's not 60 feet.
yeah.
The pitch was like only like 40 miles an hour, but it comes out because of the distance
Closer. Yeah.
of like 70 something. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, I still had a 61 mile per hour exit velocity. So sign me up, Mo.
You'd get sent down AAA with that.
it's a AAA.
They might send you all the way to single A.
Send me to developmental league. Anyway, so Oliver went well, technically it's Little League, so he had 4 hits, but one was a fielder's choice. So it technically went 3 for 4. But he was playing first base, he did really well. He caught a fly ball in the outfield, but he was playing the pitcher position. Now it's machine pitch, so that means he's not pitching, but he stands at the pitcher position.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a comebacker come right for his face. And he's actually said that like he's kind of scared of that to happen. But anyway, it was over his head, so it wasn't like it was like right up here. but he got his glove up on time in time. Didn't catch it. It was because it was so hard hit. Like you could see his glove like almost fly off his hand. But he had the wherewithal to get down, pick up the ball, and throw the guy out at first.
Nice.
So he had a really good play, and they won 16-11.
That's a high scoring game.
Well, it's literally it's the team before us.
What's
They
that
had a walk.
Machine's ERA.
What's that? Well, it's
that
the machine.
Machine's
Oh, the
ERA?
machine's ERA. it's more than Lou Brock's.
More than Sonny Gray's.
Yeah.
I was thinking we could replace Sonny Gray with a machine.
Right. I like it. But since the machines can't throw that distance at that speed, they'd have to set up a screen halfway through.
Yeah.
And do it's really a 50-mile-per-hour ball, but it's
You'd have to throw the ball from 60 feet 6 inches into another machine, and then that machine just continues on.
now
That would be entertaining.
That would be
I would watch
be
that.
interesting. It's like when Tom Brady would throw the ball back into the quarterback machine, the
Oh yeah,
thing that threw the footballs at him.
there you go, talking about Tom Brady again.
I love him.
Why don't you marry him?
He's divorced now.
I know. I
on the
got my
market.
in. I got my in. Anyway, it was a good game. And yeah, so that's what I was talking about with that.
Didn't the boys do something else cool this weekend?
Yeah. So speaking of the boys, they also
It started today on Prime.
Did it?
Did.
Yeah,
I thought it was the 16th.
no, the 13th. It's on Prime as of today. So we got to get that on the calendar, on the
Yeah.
schedule.
We have to figure that out.
I could have sworn it was the 16th that it started. I didn't know that. Okay, cool.
Speaking of my children, they played at the St. Louis City Futures City Cup tournament. It's hard to put all those words together.
Yeah, that's a lot of words.
It is. And they got to meet Markanich and Watts right there in the
Akil
picture.
Watts.
Was it?
Akil.
Akil Watts and Anthony Markanic.
Anthony Markanic.
Like a mechanic, but Markanic.
So he fixes cars.
Yes.
Markanic. Get it? Anyway, so both boys got to their
That's
teams
cool.
got to take pictures with them, and
Did they
David
get
got
to
an
keep the
autograph.
t-shirts?
They did get to keep the t-shirts.
Cool.
David's team won first place in their division.
Nice.
What do they win?
Nothing.
Oh.
And Oliver's
Good
team
time.
was 7th out of 8. They were it was a round tournament, 10-minute matches. And it was a full bracket in the consolation brackets and everything else. So everyone played the entire tournament. Like they had the consolation brackets and everything. The cool thing about this is it's free.
Yeah.
So SCL City has the futures program where I think it's U9 through 13. They play, they do like scrimmages and stuff weekly, and there's a winter, a fall, a summer, and a spring league. We did it this past winter at Cross Keys Middle School, which sucked because it was indoors, and I wouldn't do it again inside. But then anyone who participated in that can participate in the cup tournament. And then some of those kids can go on to another program that is like more of a developmental type of thing. So it's pretty cool, and it's free, and it's one of those great things that SCL City does for St. Louis City.
Cool.
Mhm.
Good thing they're doing that because they're not winning.
Mm-hmm. Is that a transition?
It is.
Sure.
So, they played against Portland at home. Another draw at home.
The ref was atrocious. Probably the worst job reffing I've ever seen.
Missing blatant calls, like just completely moronic, handing out yellow cards when they shouldn't have been. Klaus, I'm getting on the
Also horrific.
our buddy Mike Amelung he's on the Klaus hate bus, and I'm starting to get on it because he
Dude,
whiffed.
He just whiffed.
It was him and the goalkeeper, and he missed the ball. He's making mistakes in places where we can't afford to have our number one striker make those mistakes, and I think that's part of the reason why we're not scoring. And I can't wait for Toyhurt to get here and hopefully inject some life into this team.
Well, Sammy needs a little more run also.
Yeah, I think
He came in with like 12 minutes left. Come on.
City's away at Dallas this weekend. City is at home for 2 games next week. One on Wednesday, which I don't even know if I'm going to be able to make now.
Oh yeah.
And then Saturday against Atlanta United. I'm going to have to be helping my sister move some stuff on Wednesday. So
Gotcha.
anyway, yeah, hopefully things are looking up once. I don't know. It's frustrating. We got
is.
spoiled that first year. They did so well. They exceeded all expectations 100-fold.
Thing is,
and now
they're not losing a ton.
No.
They can't score.
Yeah.
Until they're playing Miami. Then all of a sudden they score 3.
Yeah.
And they still don't win because Miami has 3 guys that can just score at will.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's been frustrating. But
To
We'll
give
keep
some,
going and we'll keep cheering.
Yeah.
well, the season's not even halfway over yet, right?
it's getting close to, but yeah, it's not.
Close to
Yeah,
half. It ends in October.
there's time. Just to try to correct some errors of what I said. So it's City Futures Play On is the thing where they go to like the school. That's what it's called. And they do it in the fall, spring, and winter. They don't do a summer one. Then City Cup is the tournament that we just went to. And then Play On Plus is brings 11U and 13U kids together, the best players from the Play On program, and offering them additional training and competition opportunities. And it's all free.
Nice.
So anyway, it's pretty cool. For any additional information about the Play On Plus program, contact Sasha at sclcitysc.com.
Shout out Sasha. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for playing.
But yeah, so that's all I wanted to say about City for now. Let me put this bug in your ear right now, Christopher. I looked up a little booger in your ear.
Don't do that.
The last City home game is October 5th, and I just received word today that Mike and I graduated from Hazelwood West High School in 1994, and I just received word today that the graduation, the 30-year commemoration anniversary of our graduation, is October 4th and 5th. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to make the final home game.
Okay, you're actually going to go to that?
Yeah, 30-year high school reunion. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to go.
No, I don't even go to my own. So
I'm saying, I'm not making you go. Anyway, sorry.
I have little to no interest in that.
And yours or Aaron's?
Both.
I haven't gone to any of mine.
I drove Aaron to his 20th.
Uh-huh.
Darren and Dan, and who else did I drive?
I don't even remember. I barely remember that you drove me. That's why you drove me.
I didn't go to the 20th because I was probably out of town. Right?
As a roadie.
No,
road
that wouldn't
crew.
have been 20th. 20th was
10 years ago.
2014.
14.
I probably didn't go to our 10th because I was on the road.
10th was down at Blueberry Hill.
Yeah. I didn't. Well, one of the reasons I didn't go is I really didn't give a shit. But
Mhm.
That's where I'm at.
I didn't mean to derail us. I'm sorry.
Speaking of not giving a shit, how many people you think are going to go to the dome this weekend?
I was
What?
wondering that too, and then I saw your note, and I don't know.
Catastrophe. What a catastrophe.
I can't imagine a lot of St. Louis fans would be that interested in going with
To
the Battlehawks
seeing the
not
team
playing.
that beat us. Yeah, see the team that beat us to get into the playoffs.
Yeah,
Play the team
man.
that's won every other year.
The radio stations are giving away tickets. I see little to
would
no
you have any
participation.
interest in going?
No.
What if you were given tickets?
I might go for the atmosphere.
Yeah.
What
Give
if there might
tickets.
not be an atmosphere?
Give tickets.
I might go to see the train wreck.
Yeah,
Give tickets away to all the St. Louis youth football teams and fill it up with kids and have them have a good time. And you're not going to sell tickets for that game. There's no way.
yeah, that's
Like,
going to be a
I
tough
think
sell.
the most expensive ticket is like $25.
Yeah, that's
They were
So-
definitely hoping that the Battlehawks would
Well,
get
I
into
don't.
it.
Yeah, my notes. That's what I said. I think San Antonio forgot to read the script, guys, because they weren't supposed to win that game.
Yeah.
Right.
From a sheer financial standpoint, I don't see. First of all, I think we talked about this last week. I don't see this league staying. Like I don't see there being any staying power here
Yeah,
because the only team that draws ticket revenue is St. Louis. They lost to go into the finals. The finals are here in St. Louis. They're expecting 40,000 people in that stadium. People don't go to Battlehawks games because they love the XFL. You go to Battlehawks game because it is a St. Louis homegrown football team.
Yeah.
And spite.
And probably more importantly, they go out of spite to Stan Kroenke. There's no allegiance to this game this weekend.
When is
It
that
should've-
game? Saturday?
I think it's Sunday.
Sunday?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'll have to turn it on just to see.
Just
what
see.
the
Well, so
crowd
the
looks
last
like.
the last Battlehawks game only drew like 30,000.
Was
No,
that
that was this past one.
okay?
That was the playoff. The playoffs. It was a playoff game, and a lot of people are saying it's because it was on a Sunday
Oh,
that St. Louis blue collar. It was Sunday night. Not only was it Sunday, it was Sunday night. And St. Louis blue collar, and they're going to bed and blah blah blah. Which I get. I wouldn't have gone. If I got free tickets, I would have gone. But
I was watching the Mavericks lose. Yeah,
Again.
it's not going well.
No, I didn't think it would.
What's
The
that?
nice thing about Boston is they're not a bunch of shit talkers. They just go out and play.
Yeah.
So if we're gonna lose to anyone, it might as well be Jason Tatum. Like, it sucks, but might as well be Jason.
Is that
Tatum.
2-0?
3-0.
3?
3-0.
Is hockey 2-0? I don't remember.
Last I looked, I think this was yesterday. The Panthers were up 2-0.
Oh, you know what? Aaron is going to have
I do have.
and Aaron is going to have something to say. So speaking of hockey, that's the
was-
wrong one.
Oh my god.
Speaking of hockey,
Now listen to me, Aaron. Don't feel so sad. It'll be the best blues minute you've ever had. Aaron, don't feel so sad. It'll be the best blues minute you've ever had. You've ever had.
I had to tune that down like 3 steps in order to be able to sing it. But anyway, go ahead.
You need to work on your clicking skills, Mike.
I do.
You picked the wrong thing twice.
Twice.
So a live update from the Stanley Cup Finals, where Florida leads 2-0. The Florida Panthers have a 1-0 lead at the end of the first period.
If Edmonton loses this series, they blow it up, yeah?
Like
No.
they actually blow up the city of Edmonton.
Maybe. I mean, the fans might.
There's so much young talent.
They've got the
I
two
think you
best
just
players in the NHL, objectively.
maybe blow it up around them. I wouldn't get rid of them. I don't know, but it
And
would
they
be very
can't- This is
disappointing.
4 years in a row. They've failed.
It would suck to be an Edmonton fan to have all that. It's kind of like the Angels, like you get all this talent. You're like, we're gonna win, and then it just never happens.
I got sick pleasure out of the memes that were like, Mike Trout hit 4 home runs. Shohei Ohtani pitched a no-hitter into the 7th and hit 4 home runs.
And they lost 4-1.
And the
Oh
the Angels lose 6-2. I love it. Oh, I got so much just giggles out of those. But
So we do have big Blues news today, fellas. They announced
we just
this
figured
morning.
out Blues.
Wasn't that a
news.
show?
Blues
No.
Clues?
Not
We
Blues
just
News.
figured out Blues Clues.
And Mike sings this literally every time.
Because we're very smart.
So our general manager of the St. Louis Blues, Douglas Armstrong, today announced that he signed an extension for 3 years. He's going to continue as general manager, and former Blue and Stanley Cup winner Alexander Steen is coming on board as like his assistant. So they're going to kind of work together, and he's going to school Steener on how to be a good GM. And then Doug Armstrong's going to ride off into the sunset, and the new general manager of your St. Louis Blues, I guess in 2026, will be Alexander Steen, former
Maybe
Blue.
27.
26 or 27.
3-year extension.
It's the 26-27, but I thought that and maybe I misread it. I thought that Armstrong was moving up to like president of hockey operations at some point.
Oh,
and staying on for a couple
Maybe.
of years.
I've already closed that browser tab, so I
But
can't.
anyway, but anyway, it's cool news for Blues fans, especially the ones on Instagram. They're like, when they said Blues have great news coming up tomorrow. Be sure to tune into our press conference at 12. And people are like,
Yeah.
are they firing Armstrong already?
Yeah.
I'm like the fucking guy that gave you the only Stanley Cup in the team, and the only Stanley Cup in fucking history of the team 5 years ago. 5 fucking years ago. The team's been together since 60 somethings, right? They've been together for 50 plus years. 5 years ago, this man put together the team and hired the coach that got you the Stanley Cup, and you want to fire him. You're just as bad as the fucking St. Louis Cardinals fans. You suck.
Well, they're largely the same fans.
I love how
that's actually what I posted. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Blah blah blah. And I was like, you're just as bad as the BFIB. And someone actually said, yeah, they're the same people.
I love how you get so angry at it. And like I saw the same thing. My reaction was just laugh it off, like what a fucking moron, and then not think of it. But Mike gets so angry at it. I love it. Also, speaking of 5 years, this is the 5-year anniversary of the St. This Blues winning the Stanley Cup in 2019.
It was yesterday.
We went Blues Day. It was actually yesterday.
Yep, that's what I said. This week. It was this week.
Now listen to me, Aaron. Don't feel so bad.
I mean, that was like an attempt at a Blues minute. It was pretty mediocre if you think about it. I mean, to be honest, like Chris and I spent all our time, effort, energy to make this a professional podcast, and this is what you give us. Did you even do any research for this? Oh my God, Chris, do we even want him to do this anymore? For real, like that was pretty awful.
It wasn't that bad.
It was actually pretty good. I love how I just cut you off mid-sentence.
You need to do that every time. Please do that every time.
Because it's supposed to be a minute, and you went at least 3 minutes, even though I talked probably for half of those 3 minutes.
I had a lot of stuff to bring up today. Yeah.
Oh, tough shit.
It's the Blues 3 minutes.
It's called the Blues Minute. Now, if I could just hit the right sounder, we'd be all good.
All right.
Not holding my breath.
Speaking of not hitting the right sounder, we're going to talk about this week's worst fans in sports, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a segue?
No.
Speaking of not hitting a sounder, here's the worst fans in sports.
Well, because I always fuck up the sounder
at the
when
end.
I do
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, all right. So there was a lot, and I only have 2 because, like I said, a lot of it went through like from like Wednesday and Thursday. Like I could have added more, but I was actually busy at work today instead of doing my work doing the podcast prep from my work, which is what I normally do on Tuesday mornings. It's just Tuesdays aren't very busy for me.
Hey, it works out.
Yeah. So Cardinals split the series with Colorado. Cardinals win 5-1. And I write, and I can't see it because there's a venue bar in front of me. I write, the BFIB can't even be happy for a win. You all are the worst. Okay, so maybe I was trolling them a little bit. I was actually trying to get comments.
A little bit antagonizing there, sure.
Yeah. Someone said this, like they agree with me.
Nice.
And then someone wrote, meaningless game. A split against the Rockies comes under the category of too little, too late. Nothing to celebrate here unless you are a fan of mediocrity.
Okay.
So I respond. Cardinals fans are spoiled and think that if they don't win the World Series every year, the season is a failure. Well, that means that they failed 30 out of 100, or they failed 130 out of 141 seasons. Does this team need to do better? Yes. Does the front office need a philosophy change? Yes. But the so-called best fans complaining about a win because it wasn't a good enough win, it screams of elitism and spoiled brat attitude.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
Burn.
Yep. I got him. So I don't expect a championship every season.
You got him so good he had to write 2 paragraphs?
Yes. Ooh. I don't expect a championship every season, but fans, including me, have the right for winning a championship to be the team's goal. When the president of baseball operations says their goal is to win 90 games, it sends a message that the St. Louis Cardinals are willing to settle for something less than a championship. I don't expect a championship every season. I know you already told me that. But if a team doesn't make it their goal, they will never win one.
Well,
As far as-
winning 90 regular season games is a fair goal. That puts you in the playoffs.
Easily put you in
Yeah.
the playoffs. 85, 82 is going to put you in the playoffs this season.
I think setting a goal of 90 regular season wins is fine.
As far as being, quote, spoiled is concerned, we are constantly being told baseball is a business. If that's the case, then the fans are the customers. If business you were in the habit of patronizing started giving you poor products and service, would you continue to do business with them? Okay. Kind of
If you don't want to go to games, that's fine. You're not the
Right.
only one.
So I said 1 losing season in 15 years. Yeah, that's acting spoiled. This season isn't great, but so far it's better than last year. I agree the downturn happened when the front office aligned philosophies from single A to the majors, and that is a Mo issue. But at least for now, even though there are a couple games under 500, they're still competitive in a weak National League. I'm interested in seeing what happens at the trade deadline. That'll give us a better picture if they're going to give us a, quote, poor product. And then someone else wrote outside of that, yay, mediocrity, which I thought was pretty funny.
It sounds like a line from The Simpsons.
Or from Austin Powers, yay, capitalism. So kind of going along that and going along with the bus that you're hopping on, Aaron. City and Timbers play to a draw, 101 ESPN writes.
Oh, his bus is specifically related to Klaus being a bum.
Oh, I know. So someone wrote, they do know that they have to score, right?
It's funny.
Looks like they need a couple new offensive players. The most boring sport on earth. Okay, listen, person who wrote that, I was in the same boat. I used to hate. Oh, and then someone else wrote, soccer is a dumb sport. And then someone wrote, you could cut the tension with a spork. So I was that guy. I felt that way for a long time. I felt that way until I started going to games and saw how actually super exciting soccer is.
Yeah.
Offense is bad as the Cardinals. This is the second 0-0 tie that I've seen. Poop emoji FC. So they're turning on them. They're turning on them already. They're turning on them.
I'm
Aaron.
amazed. I'm amazed at the energy people spend to go online to complain about something that they don't even like. Like the person that said soccer is a dumb sport. I think a lot of things in life are dumb. I don't
You should go
actively
post about him on
I don't
Facebook.
yeah, I don't seek out pages devoted to those things and say this thing is dumb and laugh emojis after that. Because what is that going to accomplish? It accomplishes nothing.
I hope he slept good.
Continue starting with Klaus and benching Adeniran. This is what you'll be getting. Ties or losses. Pathetic. Berkey can only carry us so much. So see,
That's
that
a
was
valid
Aaron.
point. That's a valid
I mean,
point.
yeah.
Seems I just hate the pathetic. It's pathetic. Nah.
Yeah.
Seems like a very vanilla approach. Doesn't look good for the coach. Can't blame the officials.
Yes,
then
you
someone-
can. in
then-
that game, you definitely can.
And
Yeah.
then someone wrote, "Well, it's Groundhog's Day," which is or
That's
that,
funny.
that emoji
We
or
keep
not the
drawing,
emoji,
yeah.
meme, the meme from the movie Groundhog Day. I get it. Then we keep going in that thread. This is where it takes a turn, and I hate when this happens. St. Louis City expects blessings, yet the owner stands in front of a crowd and world waving her pride flag and bringing a curse on our city and team. Don't be fooled, people.
Oh, now we're cursed.
We're cursed because
Oh,
our
no.
owner had a pride flag.
Oh my
Oh.
God.
And then the reply to that was a guy and said, "Don't forget your tinfoil hat." And then a picture of a guy wearing a tinfoil hat, which I thought was funny. So good on you. Thank you for the assist there, because I would have said something similar.
I think this got mixed up. Yeah. I guess that was supposed to be up higher.
Oh, oops.
These
Yeah, that's
comments are
Cardinal.
going to your other one.
Oh well. That happens. Oh, well, here's a city one. Yeah, I love the team. Just stay with what it is, a sport, and don't bring politics or any agenda.
Does that person know that there are many sports other than soccer that are all the same and that they embrace a lot of different agendas, and it's not just the game? And,
So-
and that's that's one of the most idiotic things I've ever heard
It
in my
is.
life.
So Friday night when we went to the game, It was Pride Night.
Mm-hmm.
But they also had the he double played for your sins, the fucking banner. And they have a family night, which is a Christian night. And they have an animal night where you can bring your dog and they talk about animal rescue.
Hold up. Is
It's-
that the slogan? He double played for your
No.
sins?
No, but it should be. Jesus. He double played for your sins.
He hit into a double play or he turned a double play?
Whatever, figure it out. So they all have their agendas, and they all, what they also do? They take advertising dollars.
Mhm.
So you shouldn't be too upset about it. The people that are complaining about soccer and every other team, that the Kansas City Chiefs and the Dallas Cowboys are not putting any pride stuff in their team, like social media accounts. So they're being anti-pride, anti-woke. It's woke. I did that too. I said so because someone was talking about it being woke, and I found some emojis of like or memes about the kids playing the guitar and screaming. They're like the little blonde kid, like the 1-year-old blonde kid playing the broken guitar and screaming. And it says, I wrote a new song. Everything I don't like is woke. And I that was my reply, because that's getting old too. The whole everything is woke thing. There's a billboard for the state treasurer running for state treasurer from Missouri on 170, and it says, blah blah blah, state treasurer from Missouri. I stand with Trump. I'm against China and against woke. Like the word has been used so much, it's lost all meaning.
Mhm.
And it's really obnoxious. So anyway, for all of you who feel that way, for all of you who complain about the teams all the time, for all of you who complain about the teams after they win, I don't get that one. Like that.
Yeah, I
one
don't
was-
get that either.
Yeah, so this is for you.
Worst fans in sports.
He did it.
I only hit it once.
That's
did
because I
it.
turned off loop earlier.
Okay.
Okay.
And you hit the right sound.
He did it.
I did. I didn't hit the intro song or, whatever.
Congratulations. Did any
I mean,
of you
I could
see
have
the
been like,
pictures
it
of-
very well could have easily been, I could have been like, hey man, let me get you this sounder right now.
Now listen to me, Aaron. Don't feel so sad.
That would have been
That would have been funny. All right. What else you guys got?
Did you see the pictures of the Ellie De La Cruz bobblehead night last night?
No.
not.
The crowd was insane. Look them up. You can find them. Baseballer had pictures of them on Facebook. There were so many people. I got 2 of them.
Oh, nice.
Well, I mean, the stadium's right down the street from you. So
yeah, you live like
A lot
couple
of people
minutes.
though, but I got 2 of them.
well, good for you.
I guess they were selling for like $100.
Damn.
Lots of people didn't get them, I would imagine. I don't know what it was limited to, but there were so many people there. Do you remember the pictures of the Braves stadium when they gave away the Outcast bobblehead last year?
Yeah.
It looked like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you ever think when you get bobbleheads from like other cities and places that are like really sought after, that somewhere out there there's two children that are probably crying because they didn't get their bobblehead?
They don't give bobbleheads to children.
But you got 2.
They don't give
No.
bobbleheads to children. Every time I would go to a game that had a bobblehead, so I can get a bobblehead for Chris, and I would actually go to the game instead of him just buying tickets, and we walked through the gate, and I had my
Mhm.
kids with me.
They won't give them.
They got upset because they didn't get them because they're for 16 and up. So rephrase your question. Do you,
Okay,
Chris?
let me rephrase it. Chris, do you ever think about like, okay, a mom and a dad paid for tickets to take their kids to the game, and we're like, we're going to give you our bobbleheads that you want so bad, and they get up to the gate and they get in and they're like, sorry, we're all out, and then the kids start crying because the parents were going to give the kids the bobbleheads, but you have 2. Do you ever think about that?
Actually, I thought you were going to say, hey, Chris, do you ever think about how badly the other collectors that don't get the bobbleheads because you got 2 because you paid someone to go to a game?
Also, no. You know what? If you want to get a bobblehead and you know it's going to be a popular one, show up sooner. Aaron, how long have I been doing this bobblehead thing?
Over 10 years.
And how
I mean,
often
Like,
do
like a day?
we have
or
to get
two?
to the game early?
we've gone to different states, not just cities, but states to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we show up early.
Mhm.
And have
And
we
we've
ever
never
not
we've never
gotten them?
gotten there. No, we've never gotten there too late that we're like, oh shit, we missed
Because
it.
the one time we went with Mike.
We did because I was late.
So,
But I still it walked out of that game with a bobblehead.
It's
Yeah.
true.
because you found
Oh.
somebody in the stands or
Yeah.
like, hey,
But no,
He actually
No. I'm just giving you shit.
I
I'm
know.
not serious.
but yeah, we've never been, well, with the exception of one time. I don't even count that time. We've always gotten them, even though my anxiety tells me every time we're going to not get them.
One time I drove to Kansas City by myself to get
Yeah. I don't
literal
remember why
trash
I couldn't
bag.
go.
you had like a stack of printed tickets, and I was like, how am I gonna
You got so lucky because they scanned all of them for you while you stood there.
yeah.
Usually they make you go in and out.
It was like at least 15. And I said, my my company was going to go. It turns out we had a meeting. They're like, we don't want to miss the bobbleheads. So they picked me. They're like, you can have the day off if you get us all the bobbleheads. That was my story. And the Kansas City people were like, oh, that's really nice of you. Here. And then they just started scanning the thing. I'm like,
What a bullshitter. Professional
Yep.
bullshitter.
Hey, it worked.
It did.
Another time we walked all the way around Kaufman
Another
Stadium
time we went to
find-
Kaufman for a bobblehead and we went up to the wrong gate. Like they were only giving them out at 2 gates and they were both on the other side of the stadium. So we walked like around the outside of the stadium in like this big grassy area,
In the like,
all the way around the stadium.
not on a sidewalk or a paved parking
Just
lot.
through
We're
the
just
through
in
the grass.
where nobody walks. There's no path.
There's just grass, a giant fence, and on the other side of the fence is the stadium.
Yeah, that
Through
was
the
weird.
through the field. You got to walk through the field. That's pretty cool.
Almost.
They let you do that. You see the kid in Cincinnati that did the backflip and got tased?
And got
Yeah.
tased. Wasn't that Arizona?
Oh, in Arizona, but he was wearing a Reds jersey.
Yeah. Was it Arizona?
I don't. Whoever they were playing, it was a Reds away game, but he was wearing a Cincinnati jersey, and he was like he got on the field. He took a selfie with a player.
Of course.
Yeah.
Or
And then
something?
he backflipped. I guess it was.
And he backflipped
Onto the
on
taser.
in front of the security guard, and then he started running, and they tased his ass.
I guess it was in Cincinnati. Okay.
Was it in Cincinnati? Okay.
That was a pretty good backflip. The cop helped with the backflip execution for sure.
He spotted him.
He like put his hand out and made sure that like he finished his rotation and then tased him.
Nice.
So
Like, I think if
he's
that
like a
cop
spot,
wasn't
like a gymnastic spotter.
Yeah. If that cop wasn't there, I think that kid might have broken his neck.
He got lucky. He got lucky.
Yeah. I think he would have fell right on his head.
That's funny. All right. It's been another rousing edition of the Worst Fans of Sports podcast. Tell your friends or something.
Yeah. Share it. Tell your friends, like it, whatever you want to do. Or don't do anything. I don't care.
Yeah.
Everything
That's-
sucks. And I'm not having any fun.
that's like in Major League when they're losing, and he's doing the announcing, and he's like, you can't say that on air. He's like, fuck it, no one's listening.
No one's
anywhere."
listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Is there an outro?
I've just been playing a song, but we don't need to play it. We can just
All
say
right.
bye and go.
Bye.
Bye and go.
Bye.
Bye and go.